against renters in future housing applications if they were unable to pay rent. We know that one eviction can be deeply hard for people to find stable housing after this, and we want to make sure that everyone stays in their homes and stays safe in the midst of this crisis. I'm now going to turn it over to another organizer with Rent Strike ATX who is a participant in the caravan to talk about their experience.
So like Sam said, today our protest was to uplift the 5 demands that are being heard nationally. We do want tenants to not be struggling to pay rent, but we recognize that there's a significant population in the city that can't pay rent to begin with because they are unhoused. So today we were trying to uplift the voices of folks who are unhoused and who are often unheard by the leaders of our city. We were coming to uplift the voice of all the people who've been struggling nationally and locally at this time. Whenever we got onto the highway, the plan was to continue to slow roll from North I-35 all the way to South Austin and 290. Unfortunately, APD formed a blockade in front of us and forced us to exit the highway. I wanted to make it clear that we were continuing to slow roll, and APD put a complete stop to traffic moving. In addition to completely stopping the traffic, whenever they approached vehicles, they were not wearing masks and they were not maintaining 6-foot distance. Whenever they corralled everyone onto private property to arrest us, again, they were not wearing masks and they were not maintaining 6 feet distance. Over and over again, they were asked to please put on masks. Some officers did, some did not comply. At the end of the day, we know that they have put the health of people who are protesting peacefully at risk, and all we're doing is fighting for our lives. People are dying every day. There should be no rent on stolen land. Indigenous people should get their land back, and that's what we're fighting for today. And I'll turn it over to the next person who's going to speak from Rent Strike.
So my name's Chris. I'm a member of Concordia Co-op, and we're a small housing co-op in Cherrywood, and we've been on rent strike since the beginning of April. The majority of our house was either laid off or had income reduced or was already unemployed and had further issues finding unemployment during this time. And many of our housemates were not eligible for the kinds of relief that our landlord and the state was pointing to, which we saw as insufficient. So many of our housemates were not eligible for stimulus checks. Many of us have been trying to access unemployment benefits, but since the system is so slowed right now, have still not been able to access unemployment. So we are just one small example of countless people right now who are struggling to make rent, who are having to choose between basic necessities. And so we have been organizing together and also reaching out to other tenants and properties managed by our management company and building power together to negotiate an agreement that meets our needs, because what the city is offering and what landlords are offering is not meeting our needs. And we were participating in the caravan today, both to promote the rent strike and promote a collective response to this economic reality, and also to call attention to the other ways that the state is failing to care for people during this crisis.
Hi, my name's Monica and I was a participant in the caravan today. These are just really devastating times for a lot of us. 5 out of my 7 housemates are out of work due to the coronavirus crisis. And now that Greg Abbott is opening up the state again, are being forced to choose between going back to work in dangerous conditions for poverty wages or having to risk having access to food and housing. So participating in this action was really powerful for us today, just to see that all the solidarity that we can have among tenants and workers in the city. The majority of us in Austin are renters. We are living paycheck to paycheck, and these are really dangerous times for all of us. So I was just really proud to be a part of this action. And now one of my really good friends, who is a 70-year-old woman who is in a vulnerable population for the coronavirus crisis, is in jail right now, risking her health and safety to make a statement because she wants to protect all of us and show solidarity for all of us. And I was really disappointed to see that police officers during their arrests, again, like was stated before, were not wearing masks, were actually actively taking the face masks off of arrested protesters' faces while not wearing masks themselves, just, again, putting them in further danger. We're out here protesting because working conditions are dangerous, and then to be a part of this protest, the police officers were putting us in further danger. So it's just really disappointing to see, but I was really proud to be part of an action where we're all showing solidarity for each other during these really difficult times. Thank you.
So yeah, those are some of the voices from our action today, our car action where 15 people got arrested. Again, I just want to emphasize that over the past several decades, a process of urban development that has been for private profit for developers has left the city deeply vulnerable in this crisis. Over half of the city are renters, and in Austin, most renters live 1 or 2 missed paychecks away from not being able to pay rent. Across the country, on April 1st, 30% of renters were not able to pay their rent. We know that more people today weren't able to pay their rent, which is why we were out on the highway blockading it, demanding that real action is taken by the state and federal authorities. But we know that we will not get the support that we need from the politicians. Politicians have never helped people. They follow people's movements. And so my message to you, if you're a renter and you're struggling, what you need to be doing is you need to be talking to your neighbors. You need to be organizing a tenants council. In Texas, you are legally protected as a group of tenants, and then you can collectively negotiate with your landlord. When you're collectively negotiating, it means that you're not facing eviction alone, and you can win a lot more than you can win alone. Rent Strike ATX is committed to supporting renters through this crisis. We know that there's going to be an unprecedented wave of evictions like we've never seen in this country before, and our plan is to support as much as possible, both in the streets and the courtrooms, renters so that they stay in their homes and stay safe. We don't think anyone should lose their homes because of a crisis. We don't think homes should be a commodity for profit, and we hope that this movement can begin to enact real protections for renters. Today also, it was not just our protest that was repressed by the Austin Police Department, but also another protest that was taking place also for International Workers of the World Day. So I'm going to hand over the press conference to those organizers from that protest, and they are going to speak.
Hello, my name is Jessica. I am a tenant currently in Riverside getting gentrified out of my apartment. I would first like to say Happy International Workers Day. For centuries, against the bourgeoisie, against the ruling class that has taken and exploited everything that we have. So today we see how the Austin Police Department, how police across the country and across the world repress the people who are fighting back against these conditions, against the conditions that they set up for us, the conditions that capitalism has set up for us. Today, we had the caravan that got stopped and arrested about 15 folks out of there. And today also we had a march downtown that hundreds of police round up and stopped. But that doesn't mean that we will stop. That doesn't mean that this movement stops, and that doesn't mean that the people who are being oppressed will sit back home and do nothing about our oppression. We stand in solidarity with all those who've gotten arrested today for protesting against the police, for protesting against these conditions, for protesting against the murder of Mike Ramos, for protesting against the evictions and eviction notices that people are being given, to protest against the bosses who have laid off people without notice, who have not allowed them any type of stipend or any type of wages, and we demand that no rent continue to oppress us. There is no working with police. There is no working with the same politicians that have swindled us for centuries. We cannot put our faith in them. We must put our faith in ourselves and in the working class.